Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Bible Breakdown. Now, my name's Mark Buchanan. I'm the CEO here at Eden.co.uk, and as you can imagine, we sell a lot of Bibles. In fact, we sell so many, we're really spoiled for choice. So this series is designed to help you work out which is the best Bible for you to buy. Now, I'm going to confess right up front, I'm a bit of a Bible geek, so I get really excited about some of the details. Hopefully you will too. And let's jump straight in to today's Bible that we're going to look at. So this is from Tyndale. It's the NLT Thinline Reference Filament Bible, and we'll explain what all that means in a minute. So let me just go over to our overhead shot. This is the box. Now look at this. This is a quality box. See that? Even gives you a little, if I put that there, it's probably a bit out of focus, but you can see it actually tells you what the actual font size is. So let's unlock the box, open up the box. Now they're calling this navy blue. I would call it more of a slatey blue, I think, to be quite honest. It's a really nice colour. Now let me see if I can up the brightness a little bit and just... Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm seeing. So it's a little bit lighter than my camera is suggesting, but it'll look better when we're a bit darker once we open the pages. So you're going to have to forgive me for this, but the first thing that I do with any book, but especially a leather-bound book like a Bible, is give it a sniff. And I can tell you that is a 10 out of 10 on the leathery smell front for me. It's really... Let's go back to the overhead. It's really nice and supple. And if we bring this up to the microphone, you can just tell that this is quality paper. So I like this Bible. I'm just going to say that. Here we've got silver gilt, and we've also got silver gilt on the edges of the pages. This particular edition has the little thumb placeholders as well. So if I... open at random, can you see it just gives you, it breaks it down into 3 books at a time, so you can quickly find what you're looking for. This wouldn't be necessarily to everybody's taste, but I actually like it that there's nothing on the front and nothing on the back. I just like it simple. I don't like too much writing and brand names and famous people's names. That's not really my style. But this, I would say, really appeals to me. It's I would say executive, but anybody who likes muted color schemes is going to enjoy this one. And they do a whole range of colors as well. So if you don't like the slate blue or the navy blue, then there's going to be a color for you. So let's have a quick look inside. First of all, it's telling me here genuine leather, and it certainly feels and smells like genuine leather. Fairly typical presentation page at the beginning. Paper thickness is nice, actually. It's got that matte feel to it. It's very thin, has to be really to get to this size. And I don't know if you can see, you probably can here, can't you, that there is just a little bit of bleed through. But if you go to a page that you're going to read, there's no problem whatsoever there in reading. Let me just see if I can adjust focus, get it as sharp as I can. Yeah, that's probably as good as we're going to get. Again, I'm going to drop the brightness while we're inside so you can see. It's a very elegant font. I like the 2 columns as well. I'm not a big fan of the everything on one page in one block. A little notes section here. Most pages seem to have something on there. Cross references, which is always handy. We've got, if I flick through, we've got a ribbon. Again, nicely color-coded, and if you can see, that's quite long. So these always fray, don't they? If you really work your Bible hard, like I do, then that's going to fray, but we've got plenty of length there before it disappears up inside the page. So if you're a reasonably careful user, I think you're going to be absolutely fine. What else can we say? Let's have a quick look, see what they're giving us at the back. Fairly standard fare, I would expect. So we've got our typical map section. Actually, this here, though, let me zoom in on this if I can. Can I come in a bit tighter? Yes. So look at this. This is the plagues of Egypt, nicely pictorially represented. Here's something that I had not thought about, and in all my days at Bible college and all my preaching experience, I'd never heard anybody say this. But according to this infographic at the top, the plagues of Egypt, each one of them was targeting the power of a specific Egyptian god. So when the Nile was turned to blood, that was really taking on the god Hapi, who's the god of the Nile and the bringer of fertility. So I guess after that, he wasn't very happy, was he? Sorry about that. Where the cattle were afflicted, that's taking on the god Hathor, who was a cow-headed goddess of motherhood and childbirth. So that's a really interesting angle. So I think it's nicely represented, and it's also food for thought as well there, isn't it? So what else have we got? Again, another nice infographic. This is how the Israel calendar works, the Jewish calendar, and how it maps to some of the other calendars that we might know, and some of the particular feasts. So the Feast of Shelters, they're calling it, is here in October. Feast of Tabernacles, I always knew that as. Standard map there of the tribes of Israel. Another really nice infographic breaking down the book of Psalms, and just coding it against 10 themes. So the bigger the circle, the more verses there are in that psalm, and then the color coding gives you an indication of what the main thrust of that psalm is. So we've got all our praise up here, we've got thanksgiving here, lament down here. It's interesting, we use the psalms so much except that in church. I can say I've been through a few phases in my life where I've really needed and appreciated the lament psalms. That's really helped me. So I like this. I must say, I like the colors. They're not in your face. They're very, very, well, not very muted, but on the muted side. But that absolutely suits my way of thinking and doing things. So I'm really liking this Bible, I must say. Now, let me just change views for a second, and let me come on to this view, because I've got my iPhone here with me, because we mentioned at the beginning that this is a Filament Bible. And what that means is there is an app that runs alongside this Bible. So rather than put all the contents of a big study Bible into a big, thick package, they have decided to put most of the additional material into an app. So I'm already connected to this, but I could just show you. In fact, let's just pretend that we're not. So I'll say switch to a different Bible, activate a new Bible. Now it says, do you want to connect now? I'm going to say yes. So we have to find this icon at the front of our Bible. So let me put that to one side and get to that page. Here we go. Here is the icon. So I am going to say got it. So I just have to line up the two. Oop, network error. Is this going to work? Tell you why that is. I am in airplane mode to stop this going off while I'm recording. But let's try that. Tap here how to learn how to scan a page. Turn to page 909 in your Filament Bible. So let's go here. 909, where's that going to take us? Ooh, into New Testament. Mark 909. So Luke chapter 2. So we've done that, and tap the camera button at the top. So I have to line this box up with the page number. It worked out that's page 909. So now it knows exactly which Filament Bible I'm using. So I'm ready to go. So let's pick a page at random. Maybe we'll go Old Testament for a while. Let's see if we can find a prophet or something like that. Here we go. Jeremiah, page 679. So all I do is click on the camera app, line this up with the page 679, click go. So now what I'm going to see is all of the additional material that associates with this particular page. So let's see what they've got for us to see. So this, actually, we saw this at the back of the Bible. We saw it if we were being careful. So let's get rid of that. This is just a little mapping diagram, infographic, if you want to call it that, of the prophets of the Old Testament. So up here is how many words are in their book. So you can see Isaiah here is about 30,000 words. And along the bottom axis, it's the timeline. So it just places us in history. And then the width of the base of the triangle tells us how long that particular prophet was active for versus how much they said. So it's just an interesting way to break down the prophets. I like that. So that's the C section. If we're interested in study, straight ahead, we've got, if you look at the page here, we're coming in the back end of chapter 9, chapter 10, and the beginning of 11. So we've got a section here that comes in from 8 verses 18 to 9 verse 26. A little bit of information there. Some study notes giving us further information. Quite a lot of information, isn't there? And then down at the bottom, we'll probably get, wow, look at that. Really good. So let's click on the overview, the book of Jeremiah, what its purpose was, who the author was, the date, the setting and context, so that we can understand where this is all coming from. And again, a lot of information. And you can start to see now why they'd put this in an app, because it would just take a very, very fat Bible to get all of this additional information in. If we look at the key people section, just one key person, Jeremiah. So this gives you some background to him, what he was about, some passages for further study at the bottom. And then key themes we can see here as well. So we could just jump in on creation. This is a theme that taps into Jeremiah, or Jeremiah taps into that theme. And again, you can see explanation and then passages for further study. So an awful lot going on with the app, and it's such an easy app to use. I must say, I'm really impressed with that. It was no trouble at all to hook up to the Bible, and then I really like what I'm seeing there in terms of the information given. Actually, if I just jump back for 1 second, you can see at the top of the app here, if I just want to step through the chapters, I don't have to keep scanning, because that might be a bit clunky, but I can just keep stepping through the chapters of the Bible that way as well, if that's the way I want to go. So it does give me some flexible options. So who is this Bible for? That's a really hard one. So it's always tempting to think, because I'm a man and I like it, it must be for men. But I think it's really anybody who likes this colour scheme would buy this particular version of the Bible. And there's loads and loads and loads of them. So you will find a colour and a pattern that will suit you. I would say it's for anybody who doesn't want to carry a bulky Bible. So because I travel a lot, that would easily slip into my rucksack or into my suitcase. I would happily preach from that. I would certainly use it for daily devotionals or that sort of thing. It's really easy to read. It's not the largest print version they do, so they can do even bigger print than this in the Filament Bible. So I think it's mostly, obviously it's going to be a bit more expensive because it's leather, but it will be hard wearing. So if that's what you want, I would go with the leather. If you need to travel with it, or you want it to go in a handbag or a laptop bag, that's going to work well for you. Certainly it's a study Bible, so those who really like to have guided study, or who like to just go off on a tangent where you start with your own reading and then end up going off on a really interesting digression, it's going to help you. If you're at all techie, you're going to like this. So hopefully that's going to help you decide if that's for you or not. If you do want to buy it, we've got it on our website. We've got loads of the Filament Bibles. So at the moment, our prices are going up and down. We're always looking for the best deals, but at the moment we can do it at about 45 quid. That would include delivery. You will get your £7 off 40 voucher as well, so you'll probably pay about 38, I would think. For that, according to this, we've got 6 in stock as the date of recording, so always check our website. We'll try and give you an indication of what stock levels are looking like. So that is the NLT Thinline Reference Filament Bible from Tyndale. So hope you've enjoyed that. Hope you found it useful. Do check in again, and we'll keep doing these little study guides on our vast range of Bibles. Thanks very much.